Hey, welcome today. I have Cole Richardson on the call with us today in the Business Spotlight series. And Cole, I appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you so
He
much.
is with 158 on Main. So my name's David Dowdy. I own an Action Coach Lake Norman, local business training and education and coaching firm here in Mooresville. So, Cole, why don't you take a minute to introduce yourself to us and give us a little idea of what your business is there? I love the background here. Guess what time of year it is, right?
That's absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you, David. Thank you for the opportunity to sit and chat with you for a few minutes. I'm here at 158 on Main. We are a craft cocktail lounge in downtown Mooresville. Our DNA is really unique cocktails, live music, and of course, a great food menu that goes with that. But as you see behind me, we are in the season, and for 6 to 7 weeks a year, we do what's called Miracle on Main. So we are tied into a network based out of New York City. We're one of 8 locations in the state of North Carolina. The Miracle Pop-Up program is global now after it started in 2016. And it just gives the community, it gives our guests an opportunity to come in, get ready for the holiday season. We got Thanksgiving coming up in a few days. A lot of families in town, friends are wanting to join, celebrate, and we try to put the atmosphere together where they can not only come have a good time, but as you see with the decor, get right in the holiday spirit. So it's been a lot of fun, a great success the last couple of days.
That's awesome. Looking forward to it, and hopefully we'll get this turned around and out into the marketplace before Christmas actually comes along. So, Cole, if you had, imagine you had to start over again. You shared with me before we started recording a little bit of your background and things you've done. What would you do differently now as a small business owner, knowing what you know now versus where you started?
Yeah, great question. And we've been very fortunate. It's kind of like I use the example of like how my grandmother would have made a great cake on Sunday. All the ingredients are here. We have a Main Street location right in the middle of a lot of growth and development. We've got a product like craft cocktails that everybody seems to enjoy. We throw some live music in there. So all the ingredients are here to have a great experience and for our guests to have a great experience. I think if I wanted to do it a little differently, actually I may do a little bigger. Instead of we're a smaller, more intimate facility on purpose. So I think I'd probably build it a little bigger next time and let more people be able to come in and enjoy.
Yep. And you're not just a holiday event. I mean, you're year round. It's
We
decorated
are.
like this temporarily.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
decorations for Christmas are just for the few weeks, but
Yep.
we are year round, and being in a community outside a major market like Charlotte, we've got the advantage of the lake, so there's a lot of people that just come to this area. So not only do we have a really good regular customer base, we have a ton of first-time guests that come because they're just traveling to the area under tourism.
Mhm.
So we kind of fit that model of being able to host them while they're in town for a few days.
Yeah. Gotcha. So what you've been in this business for not too awful long just yet, but in some other businesses. What are some of the biggest learnings that you've had? Maybe starting with this one here.
Yeah, so the family's been in the food business in different elements or different roles for most of our adult life and career. So you're talking 20, 30 years of experience in some kind of food.
Mhm.
This facility gives the chance to still be creative and stay on trend and what does the customer want. So that part of it comes with experience, and I think that that's probably the biggest key is being able to be nimble, because take food or the food industry or beverage industry, it changes every week, every month, the 4 seasons of the year. It may be bathing suit weather, or everybody's getting ready for the holidays and maybe eats more. So the market kind of goes up and down. So you got to be flexible to be able to react to both the ebbs and flows of not only whether it's environmental or climate, like summer, where everybody wants to be outside, or it's timing of the year, menu flavors. I don't think many people want pumpkin spice in April. So trying to be nimble and stay relevant as the taste change throughout the day as well.
Okay, interesting. Okay. So small business, not like many other businesses, it's got its own sets of challenges and some really good things about it too. What comes to mind when if I were to ask about misconceptions about being a small business owner or being in small business?
David, I think probably a lot of people, I hear this story all the time. My corporate America job
Mhm.
was blank. I left that to pursue a small business, and that's usually a passion that they have, or they found a niche that they can go solve. But I think one of the misconceptions that most people overlook is truly the amount of time that that takes. If you're in a more of a corporate structure, like whether that's 9 to 5 or 4 10s, you kind of have a schedule that's pretty regimented.
Right.
However, in a small business, when you control every aspect of it, there's weekends, there's nights, there's early mornings. So I think people probably underestimate the true amount of time that it's going to take um, to make it successful.
Right. Man, that is so true. So you've even with that investment of your own time and energy and resources, what are you attributing your growth to? I mean, I've been to your to 158 on Main, to Miracle on Main, and man, what an exciting experience and love it. But overall, what is the growth? What would you point to as some of the growth factors for you personally?
Sure. Other than the items I mentioned before about right place, right time,
Yep.
the how are we growing daily, weekly, and I attribute that we have a team that really focuses heavily on our social media presence, because I believe that's something that's different than when I was growing up or the younger days of my business. Um, People get their information immediate, they want it now, it changes every day. So from a consumer standpoint, it is just amazing to be able to send a message out and it be received not within days, not within minutes, you're talking about within seconds. I can give you an example. We had a ticketed event, and usually that may have taken several days, week to sell those tickets, and we put a social media post out in less than 20 minutes, we were sold out. So it's the speed of information. I believe
Right.
that would probably be the biggest way or the way to attribute for our quick growth is it's just we can stay on top of it very quickly.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, Cole, you mentioned the amount of time it takes within a small business to invest that time. So that requires a balance of that work life and the personal life. What are your learnings or words of wisdom around keeping that balance? How do you do it?
Well, I would tell anybody, whether you're starting a career or you've been in it 50 years, uh, don't lose, don't let that get out of balance. And the way I do it is really, I purpose the time to spend with my family, my immediate family, my extended family. We all have a calendar that we use all day, and it may sound a little um, unpersonal, if you will, but I use a calendar and we will schedule time together just to make sure it doesn't get overlooked. Because as I mentioned earlier, the business is going to come at you every day, all day.
Yep.
And if you think you got it recovered, tomorrow something else will pop up. So keeping your priorities straight, whether you have a faith system, whether you have a family and friend system, but the business should never become first. You do spend a lot of time in it, but you cannot ignore your personal life, and you certainly can't ignore your close family members, because they're the ones who that you're providing for and count on you the most.
Yeah, that's so well said. I appreciate that. Now, in your business, like so many other businesses, we rely heavily on people, on employees, to help us along. What do you look for what have been some of your successes, or what are you looking for in employees that make great team members for you and your business?
Yeah, and another great question, and it's probably to us the most important ingredient of that cake that I mentioned, because most people will tell you the customer's always right. I pay attention to what my customer says, but I never hear them say that their first customer is their internal customer or their employees. So making sure that they are loved, taken care of, they're part of the team, that the way we do it, we foster an environment where everyone feels heard. We all have voices, so we allow them to express that voice, and we let them fail if they are going to. It's okay, because we can all together come out of that. So we empower our employees to run the successes up, and it's okay on the failures when they come, because we can all stand there together and overcome and try to not make that same mistake again. But yeah, our management team, our employees at any level, they're very important to us. And we've said this many years in the other businesses we're involved in, David. If I have a good person, a good employee, it's easier to go create the business around that person, as opposed to have a business and trying to plug the right employee into it.
Mm.
So it's a very important, and probably one of the first keys of success as we look at it.
Awesome. Fantastic. Okay, so as we start winding down a little bit here, maybe next to the last question, you've been around a little bit, different businesses. What words of advice would you give to an emerging entrepreneur, emerging business owner, that might make their path a little bit easier?
Well, I remember a mentor of mine probably 20 years ago, one of the finest men I'd ever met. He gave me this advice, and I've never forgotten it. He said, "I don't make any decisions after 5 p.m." What he meant by that was, let me digest this data you just gave me. Let me think about it. Let me sleep on it before I make a quick decision that could be right, could be wrong. So the 5 o'clock is just an example, but I think the advice I'd give is trust your gut. And when you get data, think about it, process it, but then act. Give yourself a little time to get through that analysis before you jump and make a decision.
Gotcha. Fantastic. Sounds like some great wisdom there. So Cole Richardson, 158 on Main. I appreciate you being here. And what's the best way somebody could reach out to you, find where you are, find the calendar, the latest events going on there at 158 on Main?
Absolutely. So I mentioned our socials earlier. All of our handles, whether it's our website, our Facebook, our Instagram, is 158 on Main. And it's real easy to find us physically, because that happens to be our street address. So 158 on Main Street, downtown Mooresville. You can come physically. We do activate on a daily and weekly basis through newsletters or information, whatever our calendar of events are, whether that's a special meal for the night, live music for the weekend, possibly a drink special on a Thursday. All of that information is updated on a daily basis.
Fantastic. Cole Richardson, 158 on Main, and currently Miracle on Main. Thanks so much for being here and for everything you're doing in the community as a business owner and contributing back. Certainly appreciate you and appreciate you being on the Business Spotlight today.
Thank you so much, David. We appreciate your time.
Thanks.